Start with the new one in Hanover Township.
Yeah.
Owner financing.
It's the owner financing one. We picked this one up in the 50s, lower 50s, I think somewhere around there. I did some work on it, right? I had a guy do some basic stuff just to make it so it'd be almost financeable, right? Or close to financeable.
Okay.
Mike found a buyer for this one, owner finance. And this is an interesting one that you don't get too often. Really, it's a crazy one, right? We've never had one like this before.
Never happened like this.
Listed at 89.9. The guy's putting 59 grand down. So we're made it's almost whole with closing costs and everything, because I'm including all that stuff in your transfer tax and whatnot. So I think it's like $1,600 out of pocket on this one after the close. But what I'm doing is creating a 30-year note, believe it or not, on this one, Mike. Instead of the 15, the guy wants 30, which is fine because it's easier to move a 30 because people like that longer amortization on it.
Okay.
And yeah, so we'll be able to move that one at least 80% after a payment or so, and sell that note. Say that 30, it's going to be around $34,000 note. Probably sell it for like 28, 30 in that range.
And that's a profit, basically. Since
there's your profit.
Yeah.
So it's another way of wholesaling, basically, what we're doing with this one here. If not, you keep it and just collect those payments over the years, and do what you want with it.
If you're whole after the down payment, then it's
all gravy.
Yeah, it's
all
awesome.
gravy from there.
So Paul, how'd you find someone to buy the note?
Deed Street Capital is a friend of mine who I know here, belongs to the country club I belong to, and his company just buys owner finance notes, right? That's what they look for. So that's what I'm thinking. Try disposition of like a lot of notes. Like if you wanted to get rid and just cash out of that one down there in Mississippi, if they take that offer, then we just sell it to him after a couple payments, and boom, you got a nice chunk of change coming back to you too. So they can be real lucrative. Or you can keep them. It depends what your model is. Do you want long-term cash flow, or do you want cash now to be able to buy more stuff? It all depends what you want.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome. And you said this is how you found the note buyer.
The note buyer is just a friend of mine, actually. I play platform tennis. So I play paddle with him.
Yeah.
And found out he's in the business. We talked a bunch of times, or we think he's going to basically probably be buying a lot of the stuff from our students that they sell. His company will want to buy them.
Awesome.
And if not him, I got several others, but he's really hungry for deals, really, really hungry for deals. So I guess this is it right here, right? So the price is sample. Numbers. Purchase price was $50,300, rehab, holding costs, all that kind of stuff. Resale cost $9,500, so like 60 into it, roughly 59.8. Owner finance 89.9, and then you got the note for $33,890, which rolls some closing costs in there at 8.5% over 30 years is $260.58 per month. And just to do like a real quick calculation on that to show you what that would be over 30 years, that's $93,808.80. Again, it's over 30 years, but it's pretty crazy, right? That you just print it out of thin air. Kind of money.
For sure. And you're whole after the down payment.
Yeah. When you get those, it's like Mike and I have had so many over the years. We usually just keep the ones that make us whole like that, unless we just want cash for it. Now we're looking at, Trey, you and I talked about this, cash for the upcoming crash, right? Get cash for the crash. Well, that could be a good sales line right there.
For sure.
Get cash for the crash for sure. But, try to get as much as you can. And then there's going to be a ton more of these. There'll always be owner finance opportunities, and it'll get even better with the credit crunch coming up,
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. When you purchased this, did you have this in mind, this dispo, or y'all?
No, we actually want to just wholesale it.
Yeah.
Really?
We prefer to just wholesale it.
Yeah. We were marketing at 89.9 everywhere. I didn't mention owner financing anywhere. And the buyer, we sold this through Facebook Marketplace, one of the local groups like in Northeast PA where it's at, or Wilkes-Barre. I forget what group I joined. Yeah. And guys started messaging, I'm interested. Would you do owner finance? I'm like, I always ask, like, well, what could you afford as a down payment? What could you afford as a monthly payment? The dude's got he said about 60K down. I'm like, when do you want to visit the house? Like, So I knew we were all in at 59. So it was an awesome potential owner finance deal. He went there, loved it. His income was low though, and we were okay with it since we're made whole right away. Me and Paul talked about it. And again, he's got that relationships at his local country club with private lenders and note buyers. So this one is kind of work out nicely. Then this is just all happening right now. We got this picked up a few weeks ago now, right? And I
got the check yesterday from him.
Got the check yesterday, yeah.
So I told him he could start doing work on the house, do all that. We're trying to go closing tomorrow. I think the title company is going to need more time. So it's probably going to be in next week at some point here before we officially go to a closing. And then what I'm going to do, Trey, and this is the best way to do it, to dispo these notes. So I'll have this service with FCI certain note servicing company. There's a couple other ones we can use out there too, but I'm going to probably use them for this one. Let them service it, collect a payment or two. It's FCI Note Exchange. That's what it's called. And then we sell it, dispo it through them. They actually can assist you in the sale too.
Cool. So when you do these obviously this wasn't your initial
right. With 50 plus K in, we usually don't even think about owner finance.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of why I was like, man,
it just fell in our lap.
Yeah.
It just fell in our lap. We had to take it.
Did you do the 9K rehab in order to sell it as a note? Or did you just...
No, you know what? Just wanted to get it so potentially we could get a mortgage buyer on there to make it potentially mortgageable, financeable. Yeah.
And that's not all rehab number either. That's probably buyer's premium, I think, from Zone.
Buyer's premium, right? And also closing costs. And I rolled everything in there. Utility costs, because I had to turn the utilities on so the contractor could do space. He had to replace a broken window. Somebody had broken in there at some point when the bank had it. So there's a broken window there. And resecure the place and just clean it up.
So it was a real small...
Oh, yeah. And then he put some carpet in a couple of rooms. The carpet was shot and bad. So he put some new carpeting in there. So just small stuff. It's almost like a semi-wholetail type deal.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's perfect. It's a great deal.
Yeah.
What were you on that? Sorry, I don't mean to...
It's all right. No, you're good.
Going back to this. So that's the 89.9 was what you were, was that y'all's ARV, or is this...
That's what the ARV on this thing is between 135 and 150 according to...
Okay, so that's your as-is kind of price.
That's what we marketed for, as is, yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. That's...
Another tactic, Trey, is what we like to do is I'll market call it a cash price. Let's use this example. In Texas right now, we're marketing some property that we have for $49,900. However, if someone comes in with owner financing, I'll tell them, listen, I wasn't looking for that. However, if I do owner financing, I'll sell for $59,900. So we'll mark it up like $10,000 on the house that size. And a lot of times people are willing to do that. Because that will help us with when we come down to discounting the note, we make our profit as is. So that's kind of the reason why we do that.
For sure. Cool.
I guess these are some of the options you talked about, Paul.
Yeah, there it is. So, you keep the note it's $93,808 over the time. If not, you sell it. Okay. After collecting a payment or two, sell it at 80%. You can probably get more than 80% for the most part. That's like your worst case scenario. You sell it for 80%, which would be the 27K there, which would basically be our profit, more or less than that. And then option two, you could, and this is something I learned from Nick LaGuermo, Mike.
Yeah.
He's doing first and second mortgages on these.
Okay. And
this was just too small to do that on, right? But as far as separating it compared to, I could have done like a 25K note and like an $890 note, sell the first note, that's 25K for 20,000 and keep the 8890, which, here is $68.36 for 360 payments. And, that's 24 grand, 24.6 over time. So that's another option you could do too. So you sell the first, keep the second, and you're still a lien holder on it there. Just there's different ways, a million different ways to skin a cat, just different options. We're just kind of showing different options.
Yeah. That's cool. I never thought of that.
Now you're getting cash and keeping some cash flow. Right. Yeah. And you can also make say you decided you want to make the second to 15-year amortization, you could do something like that, as long as it fits within a buyer's capability to pay it off.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's great.
Here's another one we just got, and this fits perfect for our owner finance. Picked up for $7,500.
I remember this one.
They screwed this up too. So this was shown as just a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom. It's actually both sides, and it was showed as 341. The address is 341 and 343 Pennsylvania Avenue, and it's both sides. The left side is actually in better shape than the right side. The right side had a little bit of a roof leak.
Okay.
And Mike has somebody right now interested at $29,900 with $2,000 down and basically can afford $1,000 a month. So when I did it over at 9.75%, it came to $967.31 for 36 payments with $2K down. So the first 7 months will be repayment to make us whole, and then the rest are pure profit. The last 29 are pure profit.
Yep.
You just can't beat that model either.
Yeah.
And that's our highest monthly payments we'd ever receive, Mike, with that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And on this one, if we decided to if the guy wanted to include taxes and insurance, we might have to drop that number down and it might go more than 36 months. But
Yeah.
he's like, I can 4,000. We got to figure out, can you afford taxes? Can you
Yep.
afford insurance and all that kind of stuff with it?
Yeah.
When you do this, are you having them pay their own property tax?
Well, you can do that, but it's a little bit risky if you do that. But if it's a short-term note, say it's a year, you don't give two shits if they don't pay it because you're gonna be paid off in that year, right?
Yeah.
But on this one where we're going 3 years, probably put it all together, make his payment $1,000 a month. And what we'll end up doing is for the 1,000 a month, say it's 750 or 800 principal and interest, like 100 for 125 for insurance or taxes, like 30 for insurance. And we charge $30 a month for the servicing because FCI will charge $30 a month to service the loan. So we just pass that forward to them and then get it to that $1,000 a month over, whatever it might extend it from 36 months to 48 or 42, something like that. But we can make the payment work for them.
Yeah. Cool. So is this, you're saying this is 2 units. So you sold
2 units.
You sold one of the units.
No, it'll be both. So we're selling them both because it's all on one deed. Gotcha. Potentially that could be chopped up potentially, but then you have to go through zoning. And right now with COVID, it might be difficult to get the ability to go do that. I don't know how easy that would be for us. Just easier, just move it like this. But if you wanted to do long term, say we're in a normal market, you decide, hey, I'm going to split this up and make this 2 different parcels or 2 different properties. You could do that and then probably double your income, but you're going to be out 6 months. But on cheap money, who cares?
Yeah, no, that's great. I just didn't know if, that's awesome. I remember this. I remember the first picture. I remember seeing this one.
Yeah, Paul, just an update. I got a cash buyer visiting this afternoon, another one tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
The owner finance guys, I know he's not locked up yet, but local investor that got me from my Bigger Pockets listing reached out to me, New Yorker, going out there today to visit. The guy Paul mentioned we found on Facebook, just posting on our property site. And then I had another investor call me off, for sale by owner ad I have on Zillow. So she's going out, I think, Saturday. So we got 2 cash buyers on top of this potentially nice owner finance for this.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's perfect.
That's awesome.
Perfect. You got to love it.
And then
this one is just a wholesale deal that I did in Wyoming last year. So the purchase of the property was $77,200. Did some rehab. This is rehab and holding costs, like interest expense plus utilities, and repainted, did some stuff to the siding, had to clean it up here a bit, and sold it for 100. Basically, in essence, it'll show 130, but it was 110 because there was I forget the mortgage that this guy had, but allowed him to do a huge amount for as a give back, right? Mm-hmm. And we did some repairs. Like there were still some repairs that needed to be done, or that he wanted to have done. So I just threw it all in there, right, and just gave him that extra little off of that mortgage. So it was $15,500 for the profit on that one. Quick little wholesale.
And we sold that, listing it on the MLS.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You hired a local agent?
A local agent who helped. She managed the rehab and everything, the wholesale. She had got all the contractors for me. I didn't have to lift a finger. It was just me sending money and doing that. So it was perfect.
It's great.
Yeah, the only type of marketing that works in Wyoming. Me and Paul, we did like a handful of deals now in the last 12 months.
Yeah, like 5 in the past year, 6 with Ted's, right?
It's newspaper ads and local agents, basically.
Old school.
That's what people respond to in the state of Wyoming. Same thing for Montana. We just did a Montana deal.
That's right.
A month ago. My phone was ringing off the hook with like a basic little newspaper ad in a town of 1,000 people. You know what I mean?
Funny. So no internet, I guess.
A lot of areas though, that stuff works still, man.
It does. It really works well, for sure.
All right. So those are some of the properties we had to discuss. I figured